I'm here with Jean-Luc Valente from blueKiwi, which is now an Atos company. So we met last year for an interview before the Enterprise to Summit. Now we have 2013. Something has changed. I mentioned it already within the name. Can you please tell us the story about blueKiwi? What has happened since 2012?
Sure. Actually, things have changed significantly for the company over the past 12 months in three areas. The first one clearly is April 2012, the acquisition by Atos of blueKiwi, primarily to support their internal and also market ambitions around what is called actually the Zero Email Initiative. Atos is the first and only company that has publicly announced that they will get rid of internal email over 80,000 people in the organization in early 2014. So that's the first piece. It's obviously a major transformation for blueKiwi. We went from about 40 people to 80,000 people in 48 countries. That's obviously giving us the might, the financial strength, but also the reach that we obviously couldn't dream of before. That's the first piece. The second piece is that we released a major innovation and advances in what we call the Zen release of blueKiwi that came out actually in October. And I certainly encourage everyone to take a look at the product that we released at the end of the year, and its level of capabilities, but also level of integration in the overall IT landscape, which I think is becoming more and more important. And then thirdly, we also signed some very major deals with very large organizations, industrial, over 50,000 people, with some large deployments in the making. And obviously this gives us also a level of insights and experience that then we try to bring back into the product as well to make it even stronger and more appealing.
Let's talk about the Zero Email project within Atos. There has been already quite some coverage about this project. I read about it in the German IT press, but I also read some French articles about this. So what's it all about, again, from your side?
So Zero Email is a very ambitious project, a very strategic one for Atos. The name is really playing here a way to, a catchphrase. That's really what it is. At the end of the day, first, we have nothing against email. Second of all, it's not about zero email per se. It's about transforming the way this organization operates. It's about, higher performance level. It's about clearly getting a different accountability, ownership at all levels in the organization. But it's also about, obviously, a level of collaboration, a level of transparency in the way we do business, and a level of also efficiency in how we get things done. So it's all of those pieces together that is driving the Zero Email Initiative from the top, clearly from Thierry Breton, the chairman and CEO, down to the 80,000 people of the organization, with multiple facets that is covering all of the aspects of this program. And that's the reason why it's strategic and ambitious, but we're putting actually the means, the wherewithal to succeed, certainly with over 1,000 people that are on a regular basis involved with this program, and obviously dedicated teams to it, a program management office with a number of pieces. Different facets, process, tools, change management, and all aspect of communication and marketing, because you're not going to be able to force people to a zero email way of behavior. You have the change management is essential. It is critical in this process, as well as obviously the way you communicate that and the way you market it to your own people, so that they see the value of actually the effort that they need to win themselves off all the habits with email that they've been using for 20, 25 years, and get into a mode of collaboration and communication that is based upon a social platform.
I'm always smiling a little bit when I see consulting firms talking about zero emails in 2013, which are themselves consulting companies into a better or smooth collaboration. So why didn't this happen within Atos earlier? So why it's right now?
I think first off, it's a matter of level of maturity of the organization and of the products in the market. I mean, if we go back a few years, in the past, I don't think that any platform, even you see today the changes in even the consolidation in the market, that any platform was robust enough to be able to pretty much bet your business, because at the end of the day, the way, as you said, as an IT company, not just consulting organization, but as an IT company, we people oriented. All of what we do is around exchange, communications, interactions with people. It's all about projects. Many of them have a very strong immaterial aspect, and it's all about this flow of information in 48 countries as well. So all of those pieces, obviously, you're betting pretty much the business on a new way to conduct it. Obviously, you need to have there behind it, a very strong foundation to be able to execute on that. So I don't think that the technology was there. And also, back to your point, the technology may not be. I think I said that also even last year, and we still stick to that statement. The technology is no more than 30-40% of the success. The other aspect is really the change management aspect. Is who's driving actually the project, who's showing the way, who's leading, but also how are people adopting and embracing it, how really the way people behave change or not, and that is the most critical piece that needs to be taken into consideration. So those were the two aspects into it. In fact, nobody else has done it in the market today, who has stated so publicly from the top, from our chairman and CEO, that they will be somewhat email free internally again, by January 2014.
Let's talk about the how can we do this? How can we transform this? Because this is also the key question we want to address with the Enterprise Sales Summit. So what are the first learnings out of this project? What are the key success factors on really transforming the whole company towards this new approach?
So there are a number of areas. First one, obviously, is it has to be driven, from the top. You have to. It can't be a program on the side that actually a few people are looking at. It needs to be a program that is driven by, with very strong leadership. You need to have teams in place actually to run that program forward, and then obviously you need clearly a strong change management team. Because at the end of the day, you're weaving together marketing, communication, the technical integration aspect, because these products, or actually if you displace email is not just about email. It's calendaring, it's reminders, it's delegation of rights, it's a number of things that actually come together, notifications and so on. And then if you start to displace that, obviously you're changing the way people do their work on a daily basis. And that disruption is not easy. You need obviously to overcome that, and you need to overcome it by showing the way, by tutorials, by putting into use cases, by having, as we do, for example, email days. I mean, we have a very strong communication and marketing program internally, worldwide, ambassadors around actually the zero email, single point of contact in each country if people have questions, etc., to demystify actually what we're trying to do and make sure that it's adopted very well in the company.
So if we talk about you just mentioned there are a lot of more action than just introducing the technology, a lot of action has been done within Atos. How would you measure the relation between the marketing efforts and the IT or normal operational adoption efforts?
So a part of the program, as I said as well, we try to cover all of the facets, all of the dimensions. One of them is clearly the metrics, meaningful metrics that you need to put in place to be able actually to measure whether or not actually you are successful in progressing on this pretty much path forward to zero email. So you need obviously first to have a baseline, and it's been quite challenging, but to get a baseline in just measuring inbound, outbound emails internally, externally, by regions, countries, etc., and get obviously a level of understanding of really what's happening in this organization. We do about 1 billion emails a year, just sheer workforce of Atos, and then. From there, what we've done is put in place a number of metrics, in terms of obviously activated users, active users, engaged users, slicing and dicing information so that we can actually measure the effect of obviously the programs and the incentives that we're putting in place with actually the adoption, the rate of adoption, and then the stabilization and usage of the platform, and even not at the individual level, but certainly at the group level to figure out whether or not actually it's taking hold.
So we had to change places a little bit.
That's right. Well,
but still, I wanted to ask you one last question. Where do you see the future of blueKiwi? Is it mainly because there's also a lot of discussion about this in the press? Is it mainly now the internal IT delivering department for Atos, or are you turning also to outside projects?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely, it's the latter. The ambition of Atos is clearly to become a driving force in social collaboration and clearly zero email as well, because we've seen actually the level of interest in the market. And obviously what we're learning, even though many organizations won't go as far as we go in terms of zero email, clearly reducing the level of pollution, if you want, of emails and information that is not spam but close to it, or useless information, is of primary importance. And obviously as well, it's really getting people to collaborate better across functions, across departments, across countries. So right now we are actually certainly getting into a second gear or third gear with Atos, deploying actually blueKiwi. So we've certainly spent the past 6 months educating the Atos workforce on blueKiwi. I mean, they had already a lot of knowledge in terms of other platforms as well that they were helping to implement in the market, but clearly the ins and outs of blueKiwi and being able actually to associate that with some of the key projects or key initiatives that they are rolling out worldwide. So definitely our ambition is commercial. Is really to have a very strong blueKiwi that can cater to the needs of any vertical, large organizations primarily. But as far as blueKiwi is concerned, we will continue and certainly be more aggressive in terms of the mid-market, because we believe that there's a real opportunity. And again, as a European player, in fact, we are the certainly largest European player out there, even specifically in the social collaboration space. That now Yammer being part of Microsoft, we think that there is an opportunity also to play maybe a role as much as Yammer has done in the market to actually spread and the word around social business and play a role of a SaaS provider for enterprise social networks in Europe, at least to start from.
Okay, thank you for the interview.
You're very welcome.